Hi everyone, welcome back to the last and final part of this series where I take a look at card backs and pair them together, just solely going off the backs and then seeing how that matches up on the face of the cards. If you haven't seen the other 3 parts to this series, I will link the playlist where you can catch up on that. I did mention maybe perhaps the last video in this series doing 3 decks at a time. I do have a couple of trios here. Otherwise, I have just 2 pairings like I have been doing because I didn't want to just pick backs to make it a group of 3. I wanted there to be some intention behind it. But let's go ahead and jump into our first pairing, which is Nosotras and the Small Spells Tarot. And the reason that I chose these 2 is because they have a color link here with this like brownie maroonish kind of color, which is not a color you really see too often, I think, in the tarot. Let me know if you disagree. Also, there's a figure represented on the backs that I kind of felt matched. I know this is a very feminine leaning deck, female empowering deck, so this has 2 women that are reversible on the backs, and I thought that kind of mirrored what the theme of this is about. But ultimately, for pairing the backs, it was the color scheme and then the figures here. So let's see how well that works out. As you can see, this is collage, but it uses real photographs, so it is that is the style. This is more minimal in nature. So we have 2 of Cups with the 7 of Wands, Queen of Cups with the 4 of Wands, Knight of Swords with the Moon, Page of Wands with the Hermit, the Moon for small spells with the Queen of Coins, 3 of Swords with the Tower, oh no, the Fool with the Hanged One, 6 of Swords with the Princess of Cups. I think this is probably my favorite pair here so far. We'll do a couple more. King of Pentacles with the 4 of Pentacles, the High Priestess with the Princess of Swords, which I believe is the Page, and the Magician with the Ace of Cups. So a typical like telltale, I guess, or obvious point is the more I kind of talk about the pairings, the more that's indicative that I like them. I think that the backs are the most cohesive part of this pairing, and then it kind of stops there. But you know what? Giving it a try, just seeing how it'll work. There's no pressure here. The next pairing I wanted to try is the Gill Tarot, which I think I've grown to kind of like these backs, but they're kind of hard to, I struggled finding a pair, but I was determined. And I have the Chromatic Fates, and the reason I chose these to pair is because they both feature trees, or there's a lot of roots growing on, however you want to see it, on the backs here, and it has the different circles here, and this has some circle patterns going on. So I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. Right away, we have a bit of a color connection here. Queen of Cups, King of Swords, very different pair or couple. I kind of think they both have a similar expression on their face. Ooh, 5 of Wands with 9 of Swords and Despair. Yeah, I mean, this is very destructive pair here. Queen of Cups and Princess of Swords, more control. I think they are in control of different domains, that's for sure. Empress with the 10 of Cups. I love this depiction of the 10 of Cups. 6 of Cups with 7 of Cups, or Imagination. I think that's kind of beautiful message. Also a sequence we have going on. 5 of Coins and the Prince of Wands. Coins, whichever. I do not, sometimes the Gill Tarot isn't as clear for me, the minors, so I apologize. We have Death and Wealth for the Ace of Coins. Interesting. Being wealthy, I think, can be death sentence sometimes, or at least that's how it appears, you know. It can appear in all the other, in pop culture and stories that I hear, so can't speak for myself in that way. But we have 10 of Coins and the King of Cups, Page of Coins and the 6 of Coin. I like this pairing here. I think it's been my favorite so far. The Lovers and the World. I like the cohesion that's going on, the color stories. Even the figures are kind of interesting, and I could see being in the same world. I think that was kind of another strikeout, but definitely some bits and pieces here and there that tie together. Shall we zoom up a little and do our first trio? So each of these features white, which pairs well, and then these 2 feature flora and fauna on them, and I thought that kind of went beautifully as well. We shall see. This will be an interesting group. I wouldn't normally pair 2 tarot and an oracle together, so this is also kind of like a new exploration for me. Princess of Pentacles, the Star, and in between is Work. I think the messages here tie in together well. I'd have to think about the Star and how it works, but I actually kind of like how these 2 are looking together. I didn't think I would. Again, I wasn't too sure, but Princess of Wands, Eight of Swords, and Disruption. Ooh. Ace of Pentacles, Drift, and the Emperor. Sometimes when you don't have structure or a plan in place, it can definitely feel like you're drifting. Like there's no purpose almost. Justice, Queen of Pentacles, and Truth. I think again these two message-wise go together nicely. Ritual with the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Knight of Wands, Manifest Self, and the King of Cups. Alright, I want to try something here. So I'm just going to take out Tarot de Carlotydes just for a moment. And I want to explore these two together as a pairing because my eye keeps going to these two, but Ace of Swords and Wisdom, okay, I guess that was the right decision. Knight of Swords and the Lower World. There's something going on between these two, and I guess they didn't need a third wheel. Ooh, the World with Fear. Interesting. We have the Five of Coins and Access the Dark. Color story is very different, but I think message-wise, like, so beautiful. The Fool and Obsession. Okay, I get on board with that. The Magician and Regeneration. Oh my gosh, yes. From the Ashes and the Four of Pentacles. Maybe that's why she wants to cling on to her pentacles so tightly, is because she literally had to start from scratch. She came from nothing, and that can be really hard to set aside, that like survivor mentality, right? Page of Cups and Growth. Ooh, okay. I really like this duo, but let me bring back out the Tarot of Carlotydes because I also felt like there was something going on between these two. So, Six of Coins, or is that, yeah, Seven of Coins, Five of Wands. I don't know, both of these have such quirky and different art styles that they kind of go. Queen of Wands and Eight of Wands. So I think we had like a little, as Bob Ross would say, happy accident in introducing this trio. I found a really great pair that I'm for sure going to be bringing out and trying. The Black Lily Tarot is super special to me. It has a very special purpose. And I think paired with a Death Doula, which has like the whole theme of it is like, it's just beautiful. I don't know why I never thought to pair those two together, but hey, that's, I mean, part of this is exploring, and I'm so happy to have found some new pairings. All right, let's do this next pair, which is maybe a little crazy, but it's okay to be crazy. We have the Tarot del Fuego and the Illuminated deck of Holy Souls. I don't know, the border going around this one kind of made it seem like this was a stained glass window somewhere, and this is about, like, this features stained glass. So I don't know, that's the reason I paired them together. Two very distinct art styles for sure. Queen of Wands with Saint Barbara. The text down here is super small, but it says, "Who found strength in the refuge of the tower? Guide me to seek sanctuary in God's light and trust." And the Queen of Wands kind of uses her passion as her sanctuary, as her place of trust. Nine of Cups with Saint Matilda. Queen of humility and service, guide me to lead with grace and compassion, and help me to serve others with a heart full of love. Aww, I think they go together wonderfully. And I love how the cups are upside down in this. Saint Peter with the Ten of Cups, help me to walk in truth and strength on my spiritual journey. Yes. Saint Maria Goretti and the Three of Swords, intercede for those who have suffered violence and grant them healing and peace as they find hope and restoration. Saint George and the Ten of Swords, help me to confront the dragon with courage and faith, and to overcome all fears that cross my path. Ooh, and he even has a sword or a lance. Saint Gertrude, Knight of Wands, bless me with your kindness and care, helping me to show love and empathy to all creatures, great and small. Look at this big, like, horse. Saint Jane de Chantal and the Knight of Swords, whose heart burned with love for God and others, help me to live with devotion and a heart full of faith and warmth. All right, let's try one more. Saint Mary Magdalene with the Queen of Pentacles, guide me with your strength and devotion, helping me embrace forgiveness and follow my truth with courage. Ooh, I am digging this pair. I really like it. I think the messages are spot on. The artwork is definitely different, but they both are bold in their own right. I think it kind of just works. Okay, our next pair here, I have Astraea's Dream and the White Numen. And I pulled these two together because they both feature hues of purple on the backs. And I don't know, I kind of liked how they looked together, but the purple was the main draw. These are very different for sure, but let's see how they work together. We have Two of Cups with the Hanged Man. Very interesting. One cup is up and one is down. And then we have the Hangman, like the tree is up but the Hangman is facing down. The Star and the Recluse, which is the Hermit. I kind of see the Star as a hermit in its own right. So I think this works well for me. I don't think that the artwork together is doing much for me, but let's keep exploring the messages. Three of Cups with the Eight of Pentacles. You don't have to do all of this work alone. In fact, even here, there's someone else helping her. You don't have to do it alone. You can call in other people to help you get across the finish line, and that's okay. Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords, with the Knight pointing straight to the Queen of Wands. Ace of Wands with the Universe, Three of Wands and transformation. You're kind of taking that journey into your own hands, and even failed journeys lead you on a path of transformation, which is also the Death card in this deck. But using your passion to guide you is never a true like death. It just leads you in different directions to different places. The Magician with the Seven of Wands, King of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. All right. Eight of Pentacles and Eight of Wands. So we have a pair of 8 here, but very different energy, right? One's slower, more methodical, the other is more rapid. Very interesting. Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. She's got a more closed off stance and he is definitely more open. Queen of Cups and the Five of Wands. I like these two figures here. I think they make a great pair visually. Let's move on to our next pairing. Let's do our last duo, and then I have one more grouping after this of 3. How's that? So I have the Serpent and the Peacock and Goblins and Gardens Tarot. There's a lot of the same colors going on in these backs. There's blues and oranges, and I don't know, I just kind of felt drawn to that. There's some like these dots going on and there's some dots here, so that's kind of the reason why I wanted to pull these two together. I don't know, I'm kind of interested to see how this one's gonna go, because they're kind of both like fantastical in a way. We're starting off here with the Tower and the King of Wands, the Magicians and the Lovers. Some color story going on here with the reds and the greens, the Sun and the Eight of Swords. Ooh, okay. The Emperor and the Nine of Coins, Two of Cups and the World, Death and the Four of Swords, the Hermit and the Ace of Swords, Temperance and the Five of Pentacles. I know I'm like kind of switching up between coins and pentacles, so I apologize if that bugs you. Six of Cups and the King of Pentacles, Nine of Swords and the Two of Cups. Got some color story going on and some elemental commonalities here. Eight of Wands and the Seven of Cups. I don't know, this one's kind of got me like very intrigued. I don't think I'm 100% sold, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of liking, like, ooh, what's gonna be next? The Empress and the Seven of Coins. There's definitely a connection here. All right, and the Chariot and the Page of Cups. Such an interesting Page of Cups. All right, okay, jury's still out on that one. Okay, in our final pairing of this series, I have 3, and 2 of them I have featured previously. One of them I have not, but I don't know. Let's just dive into it. I have Tarot of the Crystal World, I have the Fountain Tarot, and the Mystic Path Oracle. And the reason I wanted to try and pair these together is because they have like a geometric component on the backs, and I thought that it was very attractive to look at. These feature more blues here, but they also feature like some sort of purple, which ties to this one. So we have the Fool and the Knight of Wands with Letting Go. Expectations fall away, joy returns. Definitely feels like a Fool moment. Knight of Coins, the Star with the Poet. Self-expression brings perspective. Reimagine the way forward. Ooh, okay. You kind of have to reimagine your way forward after being in a star moment. And the Knight of Coins, I think, is a great person to charge the way through forward, to give you that idea forward, to do it purposefully and with good intent and strategy. Hanged Man with the Five of Swords and Offering. Give with a generous spirit. Blessings abound. I think what we need here is this Five of Swords needs to kind of spend some time by themselves, suspended, before making their next move. Being in an intense environment like the Five of Swords, I think it calls to a time of reflection. Through that reflection, there's something new that can be offered up that you might not otherwise have come across or thought of or been presented with if you hadn't taken that moment. Three of Coins, Nine of Cups with equanimity, a calm at the center of the storm, unshakable mind. We're really trying to build something that gives us a lot of joy, and that takes a lot of inner strength as well as physical strength in building that. And you have to calm your mind even during chaos, because we're just starting out here with the Three of Coins, and to get here at our joy at what we want to succeed at, it's going to take a lot of mental fortitude. Temperance with the Two of Swords and patience. Nothing more to do, make peace with what is. I like that. Okay. Page of Coins and the Five of Coins. Walk in beauty, step by step, breath by breath, realign with cosmic order. Yeah, I feel like these two are inviting this scenario and this situation and these people here to take a deep breath, know that there is a bigger picture, there is a bigger purpose than their temporary hardship. Two of Cups, strength and transformation. Emerge from uncertainty, new wings await. Ooh, okay. I like how the Two of Cups reflects the two beings in the strength card. That's something I never really took note of before. That's really cool. All right, let's try one more here. Page of Swords, Five of Wands, and permission. Live as you most wish. You hold the key. You hold the key to solving this conflict. You hold the key to new ideas and new ventures. Very nice. I kind of was not expecting to like this trio here, but I think that I would put this as number 2. I think I would put these as among my favorites of this video's groupings, but I think what really takes the cake for me is this pair here. I was only discovered through the trio with the Tarot Carlotydes and these two decks. I really want to try it right now, like right after this video is over. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this series. I had a lot of fun doing it. If you try it out, let me know. I would love to see it. I just thought that this was a lot of fun to do. Thank you so much for sticking with me as I explore some of the deck pairings based on their backs. And until next time, see you around.